If you're looking for a healthy, everlasting white smile, Colgate Optic White is the answer. With peroxide used by experts, it's clinically proven to reverse years of yellowing. Try Colgate Optic White.
और अभी भी खेल रहे हैं।
और कोई चेंजेस?
तकरीबन सेम टीम खेल रही है, उसमें अगर देखें तो मुदस्सिर वापस आया है टीम में और ज़िशान आया वापस।
चलिए, all the best, Fayaz bhai, or have a nice game. So the news from the center is that 7 District has won the toss and they have invited Pacific Group to bat first.
Thank you, Mudassir Ali. And the news from the center is that 7 District has won the toss and elected to bowl first. Look at the lineup. Pacific Group, Jiju Janardhan, Mujahid Amin, Ansh Tandon, Mudassir Ghulam, Abhay Jotin, Mayank Chaudhary, Zishan Abid, Fayaz Ahmed, Akif Raja, Irfanullah, and Rashid Habib. And look at the 7 District side. Shazad Ali, Mohammad Zamir, Wahab Hassan, Farman Ali, Lahiru Sandarovan, Abdul Ghaffar, Mohammad Farooq, Shahid Nawaz, Haider Ali, Hafiz Almas, Abdul Shakur. And let's introduce Qais Farooq to the Combox. Welcome, Qais.
Thank you, Rashid. As we have a look at the points table for Division 1 Group B, 11A sitting comfortably at the top of the table with 12 points, Future Mattress at 10 points, Kulata Chocolates are currently sitting at 6 points, and 7 District and Pacific Group both having 3 very important games coming up, sitting at 2 points apiece.
A very interesting table there and important games tonight.
Yeah, this is a must-win game for both teams, I believe, as we're just about to be ready to begin proceedings with Fayaz Ahmed opening the batting for Pacific Group.
Absolutely, Fayaz Ahmed, a very prolific scorer in the domestic region, and this is match number 37 of the Division 1 from the Sevens Cricket Stadium. Fayaz Ahmed has scored 91 runs in his 5 innings with a strike rate, healthy strike rate, I must say, of 171.
Well, I feel with the ability and class Fayaz possesses, it's a little bit below par for him in terms of performance. But again, he's got a few games coming up, a few very critical games, and he'd want to make a mark in that. Rashid Habib, his opening partner today, 6 runs in his only game at a strike rate of 150. So obviously that can go nothing but higher.
Well said there, Cass. But what do you think? Is it due to the wickets which you're playing at, the ball not coming onto the bat, which could be a reason that the strike rate's a little on the lower side?
Well, we've also seen people like Asif Khan and Ronak and some of these others score batting at 200. So I believe it comes down to the batsman itself. And Abdul Ghaffar, who's going to be opening the bowling, he's also had a very quiet tournament, 1 wicket in his 5 innings, economy rate of 10.9, a touch high, but he's going to want to look to better that.
It's a very important game for both the teams. It's a kind of a situation where anybody who loses this game would virtually be out of the tournament. So I'm sure there's going to be a few good performances we're going to see. And he's bowled him. Yes, he's chopped on. What a start, Abdul Ghaffar. Fayaz Ahmed didn't bother the scorers and he's gone for a golden duck.
Well, I was just about to say that based on the last couple of games we've seen, 7 districts are starting to look a little bit more settled. And again, Abdul Ghaffar has a big role to play in this side as an all-rounder. He's not come good with the bat yet. And he's managed to get that early breakthrough, which is brilliant for 7 districts, the ideal start. And the big man is walking back to the dugout for a first ball duck, and Pacific Group could not have wished for a worse start. They're 0 for 1.
What a start from this man, Abdul Ghaffar. bowling that a slightly away swinger, and Fayaz lazy on that shot. I think he was just casual and chopped it onto his wickets.
Yeah, he was just trying to get used to the environment, and I was wondering why he came open in the first place. Anyways, I was actually expecting Jiju to come in as open.
Yeah, Jiju has been doing really well in the last few games he's played in the domestic region. And Fayaz Ahmed is a good striker of the ball when a spinner comes with the slower bowlers, I think. And that would have done better, I think. Well pointed out by Mudassir Ali as well.
Anyway, it's water under the bridge now. He's back to the dugout as we look at Jiju Janardhan's stats again. He's not played a lot of games for the team. 9 runs in his only innings, and the average and strike rate nothing really to talk about. He's a much better player than that, but he's going to be under the pump for me. Which I feel Seven Districts for me has been one of the better bowling units in Division A. Their batting has not fired for them, which has been their problem. Their bowling has always done wonders, and that. So he's going to be up against it, especially with having to go in so early with someone like Fayaz walking back to the dugout so early in the Pacific Group innings.
Absolutely. I think they've got a good settled bowling unit, and which showed just now Abdul Ghaffar picking up the ball wicket on the first ball, coming in for another ball. That's way down leg stump. That's a wide delivery, wayward, but we'll still give it to him. It's still early days. He's picked up a wicket. The confidence is high.
Yeah, I don't mind that as a captain personally. I wouldn't mind that from my fast bowler. He can bowl a couple of wides, it doesn't matter. But if he gets me a couple of good breakthroughs in a T10 game, I'm okay with him conceding 20 runs in 2 overs.
Now look at that delivery again. A lazy shot, as we were talking, just a little away swing, and he's just chopped it on. That's well bowled again, and they pick up. They scamper for a single. Well, good running there. I feel, Kes, this man, Jiju Janardhan, he's going to be very important throughout this innings.
Yeah, again, he's a utility player as well. He's good with the bat. He bowls well as well. His slower balls might come into good use on these sevens wickets. We're back to Oval 2 today, which plays a little bit better in comparison to Oval 1. So you're going to get good value for your shots if you execute those shots properly. I still don't feel it's a slogger's game, considering the nature of these wickets. So it's going to be interesting to see how the batsmen operate on this.
Rashid Habib getting ready for the first delivery he faces from Abdul Ghaffar. Oh, what a delivery that was. There was shape, there was movement. Well bowled, young man. Coming back to that point again, Qais, Oval 2 is slightly different from Oval 1. Look at that delivery. Please talk to us about that delivery.
Yeah, you can see. I mean, it looks like Ghaffar is got his tail up right now, and obviously courtesy that early wicket of Fayaz. So he's bowling with a little bit of zip. He's much quicker than what he appears to be bowling right now, which is good because maybe he's learned that he needs to slow his pace down a little bit, focus more on the accuracy. And there again, he's put a little bit into it, and he's ended up bowling a no ball. So commentators curse.
A welcome no ball for the Pacific Group. They won't mind that. And with Rashid Habib still yet to score, I think getting a free hit would be right there up his sleeve.
Yeah, so again, he's just managed to prove me wrong in a couple of deliveries. I was just, talking about how he seems to have pulled his pace back a little bit. He's perhaps focusing more on the swing and the length, but then he's given that the extra yard and he's just gone wayward. So, but anyways, I don't mind that from my premier fast bowler if I'm the captain of the side.
As long as he can get you wickets, you won't mind anything. I mean, 10 runs, and if he can get you a couple of wickets, that's it. And then the free hit coming in. That's well bowled, but equally well played. He's just guided that over point region, and that's gone for a boundary. Very good shot, I must say.
Yeah, again, a very, very nicely executed uppercut, if you want to call it that. Again, it's again fairly predictable from Ghaffar. He's been bowling those short of length deliveries. So again, another ranked short ball, just bowled outside off stump. He's given Rashid Habib the opportunity to free his arms on a risk-free ball, and he's taken full toll of it.
But full marks to Rashid Habib. He didn't try to hit that too hard.
Yeah, the execution of it was more important than the power and the timing. Again, he's hit that high in the air, and it's been taken by Mujahid Amin. So Abdul Ghaffar has grabbed 2 wickets. Oh, Hafiz Almas, beg your pardon. And Ghaffar has grabbed 2 wickets in the over. So that, again, the fast bowler's dream and an ideal start for 7 districts.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the captain won't mind that no ball or the boundary after that. With that, Rashid Habib walks back. I think he's just scored 4 runs off the 4 deliveries he's faced. Beg your pardon. Pacific Group is seven runs with 2 wickets down.
Well, that brings the young man, Abhay Jotin, to the crease. Again, a very, very talented young batsman. Very, very technically gifted. And this is going to be well, it's not an ideal situation for him from a team perspective, but it's an ideal situation for him because he's going to have approximately 9 overs to bat. So he has some time to settle as we have a look at his stats. 52 runs in 5 innings. Nothing to talk about in terms of average. That strike rate could be a little bit better, and he's much more capable than that.
And I think with 2 wickets down, Pacific Group would want these two to stay for a while, get a partnership in. But at the same time, I think 7 districts would want another wicket. Abdul Ghaffar with his tail up. I think he's going to be aggressive. And are we going to see a Yorker?
Well, he seems to be operating with fielders on the leg side that are set at the boundary. So I'm assuming with the bowler's mindset, it's either a short ball or he's going to try and bluff it and just bowl a 1 full.
He's bowled that full, all right, but a little more effort, I think. But again, as Qais was saying, the captain won't mind those no balls as long as he can get wickets at the same time.
Yeah, he's managed to pick up 2 wickets for 9 runs in a T10 game in the first over. So I think he's going to be let off by Heather.
Unless he doesn't bowl anymore.
Or unless he gets hit for a 6 right now, which is going to make it a 15-run over. Still okay considering the wickets he's got.
Absolutely, top wickets of the opposing team. I think that's what they would have loved to do. They wouldn't have minded if they would have said before the start of the innings that they'll go 2 down with 9 runs in the first over.
Well, a very, very, very good call by the umpire. You could see him stretching that extra yard just to get that extra yard of pace going, which is why he's probably pushed his leg over that line.
Interesting ball for Jiju. He can open his arms and get that timing in. Oh, that's well bowled, but he's equally played that really well, and he's timed that to perfection. That went like a trace of bullet to the point boundary.
Well, a good delivery has been dispatched to the fence. He found that gap to perfection. Very well played. It wasn't an easy shot to play as the first over comes to a close with Pacific Group 13 for the loss of 2.
to open the bowling for 7 District, along with Abdul Ghaffar, is going to be Haider, left arm spinner, a very good bowler, but those numbers don't do justice. He just picked up 2 wickets in his 5 innings. And he comes to bowl to Abhijotin. I was drifting down leg. No appeal there. The bowler knew right away that I was drifting down leg.
Well, coming to your point about Heather Ali, he's a good bowler, but the only reason that I feel the stats have not done justice to him is because he's been prone to bowling a lot quicker. And his first ball today that he's bowled was a slightly flighted. He's had that tendency to bowl those faster balls, and that's why he's been punished and he's gone for a few runs. So again, with the benefit of having these matches broadcasted and the ability to have them watched again, perhaps some of the people have picked up certain things that can be improved upon.
Very well pointed out. These are very important pictures, and they make a lot of difference to you as a player, and you can learn from your mistakes every day. As Kais pointed out, a little slower in the air, a little different from the few games he's played before. And again, but I think is it up in the air and it's over the top. It's not going to go to the boundary. That's well fielded, and they just pick up 1. That's a little slow running.
And see the beauty of this for Haider Ali right now is that he's actually bowling slower. So irrespective, he might get hit for runs. It doesn't matter. But he's changed something based on, I assume, what he's seen in the previous games, which is a good sign. As Abhay has played that towards or over that point region, beautifully timed. That's not an easy shot to play again, but he's caressed it to the boundary.
Absolutely, it was a slower delivery and very identical to the previous one, which Jiju tried to play over the mid-off region, and he couldn't get any timing on it. But we see Abhay, he playing it slightly differently and getting a better result.
Well, he played that like a proper batsman and not like a slogger, which is why he got a little bit of value out of it.
And straight away we see the quick run coming in.
Yeah, I guess the boundary makes you change your direction and your ability to think. Your brain just freezes. So perhaps again, you need to recognize that you've been doing something and it's not been working. So you might as well try something different. I actually like him tossing the ball. It doesn't matter if he's going for runs, and that's again a very, very poor fielding display that's costed Heather another boundary.
The fielder should have done better there. I think that is the reason why, one of the reasons I think where Haider, as soon as he starts flighting the delivery and the fielder is not supporting him, and as soon as it goes over the boundary, he just comes back to and starts bowling faster.
Perhaps we haven't seen a lot of turn, so perhaps have that mid-off a little bit straighter. Just to counter that, because he's not going to be hitting it towards that wider mid-off region as the second over comes to a close, and Pacific Group have recovered well now, 24 for 2. Well, the floating power play has been taken by Pacific Group, and I like that idea because it's the best time to take the power play is right at the start of your inning, I believe, because we've seen so many teams waiting to take the power play in the 8th and the 9th when it becomes mandatory, and they've already lost 6 wickets. So irrespective of how the power play goes, this is actually a very positive and aggressive step from Pacific Group. I really like that move from the batsman and the captain.
It's a positive move, all right, but everybody's got a different thinking behind it. I feel, for me, it's just that when you want to break the rhythm of the team, of the bowling side, when they're on top of you, and things are not working in your favor, you just go for that power play.
Shahid Nawaz has been introduced into the attack, and he bowls a brilliant outswinger that beats Abhay Jotin. All ends up He's got such a nice action. He's got such a smooth action, such a smooth run up and action to the crease. It looks effortless.
Absolutely.
And he's such a good bowler. He gets that bounce and he looks to be a quick unit.
Yeah, the arm coming right over the head and, very smooth action. But again, coming back to that power play, I think with the ball swinging, that is one of the reasons why teams don't, try to take that batting power play in the first three.
Yeah, but see, the reason I say that is because we've been witness to so many games when teams have not taken the power play and waited and waited and waited, and then you're 6 wickets down.
That is another problem. But look at this. I mean, that's not required, Jabe. You're a better batsman than that. You don't need to slog it. You just need to time it. You've got enough, spaces, gaps in the field.
And again, this is more a non-technical mindset. So this should ideally have, he could have cut it over point. He may have gotten a boundary, but he's again premeditated, trying to go towards that leg side, which has resulted in him missing the ball completely. So the moment you start thinking like a slogger and a basher, and that's not your game, you're going to suffer. So Abhay is perhaps better suited to just play his natural game and then hit out if he survives long enough. And he's played that down the ground. Again, did not get any timing on that.
Yeah, that was not called for. I think Abe, like many other batsmen throughout this tournament we've seen, they try to hit the ball too hard. But I think because it's a T10 format, you shouldn't have that kind of a mindset. You should play your game, natural game. And even if you get, a 10 ball 24 is not all that difficult. You don't need boundaries or sixes in that.
And you can see people like Ronak Panoli, Asif Khan, Yasir Kaleem, Usman Khan, and Sagar Kalyan, who are not really bashing the ball. They're just playing their natural game, and they're getting good value for their shots. But the moment you start seeing people lose their shape, lose their balance, and just trying to play across the line and playing shots that are not there, you might pull it off once in a while, but more often than not, you won't.
Absolutely. And here we see he stepped back and he's heaved that over extra cover. That's gone for a boundary.
Well, that's the shot of the day for me so far. A brilliant shot, and again, Shahid Nawaz has been a little bit too predictable in his lengths, which is probably why what Jiju's recognized, and he was able to get onto that back foot and just hit it over that cover fielder for a boundary.
I think in this delivery we didn't see a bit of swing. In the previous deliveries there was a bit of swing coming in, which is why Abe was getting beaten there. But Jiju just stepped back and didn't even let it swing.
Yeah, and this is where you'll see the difference between, say, perhaps potentially one-dimensional bowlers like maybe a Shahid Nawaz or an Abdul Ghaffar against people like Hafiz Almas and Umair Ali Khan.
He's just chipped that over extra cover and they pick up a couple of runs. I think Jiju's looks a little uncomfortable right there with his elbow.
He looks to be in a little bit of a hurry for something. Perhaps he is nursing an injury. We don't know, but he looks a little rushed.
Yeah, I think, is it because of the power play over they've taken?
Could be.
But I don't
again,
think they've got the desired result so far in this over.
But you'll see what happens when someone like Hafiz Almas comes into bowl. He's going to show you again. That's a ranked short delivery which has been pulled by Jiju. Again, Farooq, is it? Yeah, a very, very poor effort. They've managed to run back 4-2, and Pacific Group are 33 for 2 at the end of 3.
Look at the batting card there. Fayaz gone on the first ball. Rashid didn't do much, just a single boundary. Jiju still playing there, 18 of 8 deliveries, and Abe supporting him with 7 of 7. A change in bat for Abhay Jotin. Will it change his fortunes as well?
I think he needs a change in mental approach and then not a change in bat, because he's again such a good player that it doesn't matter what you hold in your hand if you're not right up there. You know, so he needs to, again, like I said, he needs to bat around. Jiju is scoring at a brisk pace. Perhaps support him for a bit as he's played that towards point, and he's almost been run out. He looked a little lackluster in his running. So yeah, I'd if again if I am Pacific Group, I'd prefer Abhay Jotin to just stick around for a bit as we look at Mohammad Farooq's stats. 5 wickets in 5 innings, a fairly okay economy, average is decent as well, and he's a very important part of this 7 districts unit.
Especially in the shorter format. He's really good in the shorter format. I've seen him for quite a while now, and whenever he bowls, whenever the batsmen try to go after him, he's got a knack of picking up a wicket.
Yeah, because again, coming back to the batting side of it, you can see that Jiju is in a little bit of rush, so perhaps it is something with his elbow and he just wants to maximize the time he spends at the crease. And again, perhaps someone like an Abhay Jotin should just hang around while Jiju is there and then see what needs to be done later. As again, he's just tried to bash this ball again and he's got an outside edge. That's not his game. He needs to play proper shots.
He's missed out on a full toss there. And Jiju is just waiting on the other end. What a good shot that was. A boundary, as we were saying, to play proper cricket shots. He's done that. And look at the result he's got.
Again, that's the beauty of playing shots on merit. You know, you're good. He uses his feet very well to spinners, so you might as well capitalize on playing proper cricket shots, because Jiju looks like he wants to bash the ball. So you play your normal cricket shots, keep one end going, and let the other person hit around.
Absolutely, and if Jiju can last another 10 deliveries, he's going to get his score. Here we see it's a bit shorter in the air, and he's tried to heave that over his mid-wicket, but no timing there whatsoever. Heather does the clean-up, and they've just picked up a single.
Again, Farooq perhaps also bowling a little bit quicker. Perhaps needs to slow his pace down a little bit as well. And Jiju's played that in that wider long off region, well fielded by Ehsan Shah. They've only run through for a single.
I thought they could have done better with the running there. They should have picked up a couple.
Well, they've managed to injure the fielder, so perhaps job half done.
Good effort though. He saved, definitely saved a couple of runs. 3 runs for his team. That was a bad fall there. That's another thing I've noticed throughout the tournament, Qais. The fielders in UAE are not used to diving, and they don't know the proper way to dive and stop the ball.
Well, it's an art. You know, fielding is an art like everything else in cricket. As we have a look at the 7 districts bowling card, Abdul Ghaffar, brilliant first over, a little expensive, but he's got 2 key wickets. Haider Ali, 10 runs conceded off a solitary over. Shahid Nawaz has also bowled the 1 over for 9, and Mohammad Farooq has bowled the 1 over for 8.
In comes Heather again. He's oh, that's a very good shot. That's gone all the way for 6. He's flighted that delivery, but Jiju is in a hurry, like Kes mentioned, and he wants to get a big total there.
Well, that was hit on the up, a beautifully executed shot by Jiju, and it looks like he's going to be the enforcer in this partnership, which is not too bad a ploy. You know, it's a game of partnerships. One person can't do it. And as we talk about Jiju, Haider Ali has cleaned him up Another straighter one, slightly faster. It's gone through Jiju's attack mode or defenses, whatever you want to call it. And against the run of play, 7 districts have got another wicket.
I think that was uncalled for. Jiju should, I mean, he got a boundary on the first ball, a 6 on the first ball. He should have tried to get a couple of runs on this delivery and, but as I think Qais rightly mentioned, he was in such some kind of a hurry, and with that, Jiju's gone for 26 of the 12 deliveries he's faced. Pacific Group on 47 for the loss of 3 wickets.
बोले ऐसे टाइम में फॉर्म में आ जाते तू व्हाट इज दिस हां बोले नजर नहीं आता ऐसे टाइम में फॉर्म छोटे सही लगे.
Well, that brings Ansh Tandon to the crease. 2 runs in a solitary inning. So, again, this should only go up. And again, a lot is riding on this game for Pacific Group as well as 7 districts. So it's an ideal time for 2 youngsters like Abhay and Ansh to actually perform and get some runs on the board for their side.
Absolutely, and I think it's a good move. Sending in Ansh to the center, because a left-arm bowler, Heather bowling, and then we've seen Farooq bowling as well. So I think it's a good ploy. They've got a plan for this innings.
I think that it'd be better for them to perhaps knock it around for 8 or 9 and over in the next couple of overs. What they don't want to do is lose a couple of wickets in the next 2 overs.
Absolutely. I think that's what the requirement is at the moment, because they've lost 3 wickets up top, and with these 2 young legs in the middle, they should go for those doubles, and it's a big ground. They can even get 3 runs somewhere here and there. Boundaries are, I mean, you always get a bad ball in and over.
Well, yeah, so they'd want to use that benefit of young legs to try and maximize how many runs they can take, as that's been played towards that short mid-wicket fielder. No run conceded.
Ansh is not listening to you, Qais. He just tried to heave that over mid-wicket.
The very well bowled delivery, drifted slightly and went through with the arm. And Ansh has played that very well at the end towards cover for a single. End of 5 overs, Pacific Group have notched up their 50 for the loss of 3 wickets.
With the score at 50 after 5 overs, we bring to you Mudassir Ali to the comm box. Welcome, Mudassir Ali.
Thanks a lot, Rashid, and what a match we are witnessing. Half way we are down in the first innings. 3 wickets gone, 50. Full toss delivery. Ansh Tandon coming down the track, heaved over mid-wicket. Welcomes me with a maximum in the comm box, as well as Mohammad Farooq.
You've done this quite often, Mudassir Ali. As soon as you come to the comm box, right away we start seeing runs.
I've noticed whenever the runs are flowing, whenever I comes in, wicket goes down. Now it's completely different scenario. And good use of feet. Just coming couple of deliveries on the crease. Ansh. This has been a problem. This has been the problem. Making room for himself and going for that wild slog. Gets his man, Mohammad Farooq. Not at all happy. Ansh Tandon showing his bat.
That was a well-directed ball. It was right in the stumps, and that was plumb. That was plumb. What are you showing your bat for? Good call there by the umpire.
This has been the problem of this team. They're going at around 10 per over. You got that maximum. Go for singles. Walks back for 8 with the help of one maximum. 56 for 4. Brilliant comeback this time by Mohammad Farooq. Earlier delivery was a full toss sent towards the mid wicket, and the very next delivery caught in front of the stumps. Ansh Tandon walks in Mayank off the mark. Nicely bowled by Farooq. They're in a good position, Pacific Group. I think instead of looking for that 120, try and get to 100 and give something for your bowlers.
Absolutely. It's very important to see how the conditions are in the middle and assess the situation and regroup as a team and make sure that you get to the total which you've planned. As we see a googly bowl, that's very well bowled by Farooq. He's a very shrewd bowler. I've always liked seeing him bowl.
And I believe this is where the seniors roles come into play for your team. You need to guide the youngsters, talk to them. Nice looking shot. Good use of his feet. A fumble. And they're going for that second run. Brilliant running between the wickets by Mayank and Abhay.
That's very good running. I think that's what's the requirement right now. They've got a 6 in the first ball and just nudge it around, get those 10 runs on. And, you'll end up getting 100 runs if you just keep the score rate as per the run rate achieved at the moment.
Looking for that breakthrough once again. Farooq, a googly, went on the back foot, unable to connect it properly. Just a single going down towards long on. With that single, over number 6 comes to an end, 60 for 4.
We see a change in the bowling. Hafiz Almas comes to the middle. He's been having a wonderful tournament.
A very good all-rounder in UAE domestic circuit. First time you're watching Hafiz Almas. Whether it's with the ball or with the bat, he's always there for your team. These overs will be very crucial for both the teams.
Straight away we see a bouncer coming in. That was well bowled. I think he's just tried to bog down the batsman and made sure that he, announces his entry.
The weather has been very kind for the last couple of days. Winter is coming here in UAE, and thanks to our co-commentator Khais Farooq for the ginger tea and taking care of us.
Thank you, Qais. Lovely ginger tea there. Drifting down slightly towards the leg stump and couldn't make the most of it. Abhay Jotin leg by signaled and they pick up a single.
I think for the Pacific, the problem is the middle order. The top order looks good, though they have not scored bulk of runs in this tournament, but in the other regions, The top order has been scoring runs for Pacific Group. The problem is with the middle order and lower order.
Absolutely, and today again we saw they didn't get a very good start up top, but they're still achieving that run rate, which is a good thing for them.
Some width of a room made by Mayank and play towards the third man region. Mixing up his deliveries very well, Almas. This is where we get the talent. If you have this facility of broadcast, live matches, and very good to see some new players coming in and chipping in, showing their talent on the big platform.
Absolutely, and we haven't seen a slower one bowled yet by Almas, and I feel it is coming very soon. And that was a slower delivery, but equally well played towards the deep cover region, and the fielder does the cleanup. They only managed to pick up a single.
So far, a brilliant over. Just 3 runs of 4 deliveries. They need a boundary here to be around that 10 runs per over mark. Anything around 90 to between 100, I think it's a good total on this wicket. But for that, your bowler needs to bowl really well.
Well said there, Mudassir Ali. That's what the conditions are saying. Anything between 90 and 100 would be a good total. That was width offered again. A similar kind of shot. Not a very good fielding effort there, but still managed to keep them down for 1.
This is what I like about Almas. He knows where his fielders are and bowling according to the plan. Though width offer, but he has the protection. Shahzad Ali fumbles, but just a single. Brilliant over.
A very important last ball coming up. Pacific would want a boundary on this ball, and they might probably get that. That was a short delivery, and he's helped it over the keeper's head for a 4.
Not at all required. Testing the batter this time with a shorter delivery. This is what he's asking because already he has given 1 for the over. Bouncer and just managed to clear that wicket keeper. Important boundary coming from the blade of Abhay Jotin.
I think that was a legal delivery. It wasn't over the shoulder. But he's crushed down as well. And at the end of the day, he's got the result for his team, which is a boundary. And a very good call by the umpire.
7 gone, 68 for 4.
Zamir comes in and picks up a wicket on the very first ball is bowled. A very good catch there. He's flighted that delivery and Mayank has gone for that 6. But unfortunately, that was straight in his hands. Wahab picking up a brilliant catch.
I feel pity for this batter. Very talented batsman, but unable to fire in this tournament for Pacific Group. Comes in and straight away gets the wicket of Mayank Chaudhary, and what a brilliant catch coming in from the deep and a slide. Well judged catch taken. Walks back Mayank after making just 3 runs. Big trouble. Half of the side back in the hut for Pacific Group. 68 for 5. The very first delivery he got the wicket, but we are enjoying this tea. If anyone wants, they can come in the combox, especially our camera crew.
Qais has got a thermos full of this tea.
comes Zishan Abid. A quicker delivery this time, drifting towards the leg. Wide call. 17 legal deliveries. Managed 25 to 28 runs. That's all you want to do.
Absolutely. And Zishan Abid, another young talent. He's a very good batsman as well. Batsman, wicket-keeper batsman. And again, a similar delivery, similar result. And the umpire, JB Alex, has to raise his arms again.
I think it's always better to watch other teams playing, learn from them. Firmly driven towards the extra cover. A dot ball. Rotate the strikes. This time coming into right-hand batter. Nicely bowled. Just nudged towards the short mid-wicket off the mark, Zishan Abid. You need to learn from other cricketers as well. As we have seen earlier, Rahul Raghubir's fantastic knock. Building on those singles and doubles, and with ease he crossed the milestone of 50 runs, which helped his team to win the match.
That was one of the brilliant innings throughout the tournament. And here Abe tries to go heave that one again, coming down the track, but having no idea where the ball was. They scamper through for a single through his.
So far it has been a good over. A wicket to his name, 4 runs conceded, couple of wides. 2 more deliveries left. Looking for that odd boundary. Zishan Abid on strike. Shorter delivery played towards the mid-wicket on the back foot. Things are back in control for 7 districts. After winning the toss, they have invited Pacific Group to bat first.
You were at the toss, Mudassir Ali. What did the Pacific Group, beg your pardon, 7 district wanted as a total?
Once again, stepping down and lofting over towards the deep extra cover. Just a single. 8 gone, 74 for 5. And coming back to your question, I was a bit surprised because bowling is not a problem for 7 districts. It's batting. Can they manage that? If at all something is posted around 90 or 95, can the batsmen fire tonight for them? And looking at the Pacific Group, it's all about Jiju Janardhan. 12 deliveries, 26. Abhay Jotin, 23 of 21 deliveries, and no other batters fired tonight. It's Zishan Abid and Abhay Jotin in the middle, 74 for 5. 8 extras has been conceded. So bowling has never been a problem for 7 districts. It's batting, and definitely it will be tested tonight.
Absolutely, and I think if they can get another 20 runs in these last 2 overs, it will make this game very interesting.
Don't play those orthodox shots, play those basic shots. He's a very good timer of the ball, Abhay Jotin, trying out too many things, but in front of him is Abdul Ghaffar. Bowled brilliantly tonight, and someone is very happy in the com box.
He's a good bowler. Straight away he starts with a slower delivery, and Abhay Jotin has just helped it on its way for a boundary towards fine leg.
Once again, it shows the class of Abhay Jotin. Timing is important for him. A slower delivery, just guided over the fine leg. A quick outfield helping Abhay to fetch yet another boundary.
That shows that Abhay has actually done well. He was struggling throughout his innings. He's still been struggling, but he's made sure that he's still in the middle. He doesn't get out, which is important because Pacific Group lost quite a few wickets up top, and he's made sure that his 27 runs make an impact for his team.
Abdul Ghaffar looking for his 3rd wicket. And talking about the wicket, a big outside edge taken by Abdul Shakur. Brilliant bowling by Abdul Ghaffar continues in this match. A fuller length delivery, committed for that shot, went for the drive, getting the thick outside edge, walks back Abhay Jotin.
And we had fingers raised here before the umpire could raise a finger. Abhay Jotin probably getting out at the wrong time, but well played 27 in the context of the game, facing 23 deliveries. Pacific Group on 78 for the loss of 6 wickets.
Walks in Mudassir Ghulam, known for his bowling. So far, 4 innings, 19 runs, 82 strike rate. In comes Abdul Ghaffar. Wild swing. Basics. This is the first ball. Take the single. Get Zishan Abid on strike. It's a goal dust at this point for 7 districts, a dot ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though he couldn't, he doesn't get Zishan Abid on strike. At least keep the scorecard ticking. Get as many runs as you can. It's they're on 78. 9 legal deliveries left, and if they can muster out 15, 16 runs, that'll be good for the team.
Brilliant piece of bowling. Moving towards the leg stump, making room for himself. And so clever is Abdul Ghaffar, bowling fuller length, Yorkers on the off stump. Really don't understand why the tail-enders on the very first ball, they go after the bowler. If they are a good batters, then definitely they have batted top of the order.
They just know one thing to do. Move your leg out of the way and hit it out of the park.
Or else go back in the hut. Either you hit or you miss.
A slightly shorter and slower delivery. Very well bowled by Ghaffar. He's got a plan set, and he's not deviating from that plan, and it's doing wonders for him.
No presence of mind by Mudassir Ghulam. Doesn't look good. 3 dot deliveries. Take the single, but now you need to try. This is the last delivery of this over. Lucky, trying at last. He got the thick outside edge, ball racing towards the third man region. An important boundary from the blade of Mudassir Ghulam. But still, I would say, brilliant spell by Abdul Ghaffar tonight.
At the end of 9 overs, Pacific Group 82 runs for the loss of 6 wickets, and this brings us to the last over. A look at the bowling card. Abdul Ghaffar picking up 3 wickets for his 21 runs. Very good bowling today. Haider Ali, Mohammad Farooq and Mohammad Zamir picking up a wicket each, and I think it's going to be Hafiz Almas to bowl the last over. Mudassir Ali?
He has been pick of the bowlers for 7 districts, and definitely it will be Hafiz Almas, and on strike is Zishan Abid. Last couple of overs, they're pulling things back nicely. 7 districts. At one stage, Pacific Group were going at around 10 per over. Now it came down almost to 9 per over. Can they keep them below 90?
We were talking about anything between 90 and 95, and if they would have played the last over a little bit better, I think they could have, even if they picked up singles, they would have gotten closer to that mark. A shorter delivery, and he's tried to heave that over extra cover, but it's taken the outside edge and gone towards the boundary.
Started off with a shorter delivery. Went for that cut shot, but getting the thick outside edge and the ball racing towards the third man. It doesn't matter how it comes. Runs are flowing. Last 2 deliveries, 8 runs. 86 for 6. 5 more legal deliveries.
Pacific Group wouldn't mind those, I think, and I think that should be the right approach as well. We haven't seen many maximums today, and the ball not coming onto the bat very well. I think they should try to get as many boundaries as possible.
Good comeback following up the batter. Look at that reply by Hafiz Almas. Direct on the helmet of Zishan Abid.
A very well directed short ball, and it's hit him flush on the helmet. And we see that the umpire is checking on the batsman and making sure that he's all right.
See, at last we have got someone from the crew asking for that ginger tea. 5 dirhams each cup, please.
With 4 legal deliveries left, the score for Pacific Group is at 87. What is Mudassir going to do with these last 4 deliveries?
He will just swing his bat, try to get those edges and lucky boundaries.
And he's hit that over the point region, but they've got protection down there. They'll pick up a couple of runs. That's very good running. Are they going to go for the... No, they're not. That was a wayward throw, but they pick up a couple of runs.
7 runs in 3 deliveries, 89 for 6. Still a good total.
And as predicted by Mudassir Ali, that flew through from his outside edge.
The way he is batting, I think he cannot middle. All he can get is those edges. And look out for that bat. Whoever gives him, it's in big danger.
And that's gotten off from the bottom edge, and they're trying to pick up a double, and they do it easily. A couple of runs again, and an inside edge again.
It doesn't matter where you hit, just run after each and every delivery. Mudassir Ghulam scoring runs for his team.
Mudassir Ali, is he gonna middle one?
I don't think so. But still they are managing to get runs. 9 runs so far in this over. Couple of runs in the previous 2 deliveries. Mudassir Ghulam on strike. But when he hits, I have seen him clearing the mid-wicket and long on with ease. A maximum would help his team. Mudassir Ghulam on strike. Way outside the off stump. Wide. You need to run after that because it has hit the stump. There was a chance. 90 for 6.
I think there was no game awareness by Mudassir Ali. He should have run. Beg your pardon, Mudassir Ghulam. I'm just getting confused between the two Mudassirs here. One predicting the shots and one playing them, as per the predictions.
Okay, let's predict. The next delivery, it will be a thick outside edge. What do you want to say?
I'm going to give it to him. He's going to middle it and whack it around outside the park. Should be in his arc.
Brilliant slower delivery. The good thing is he managed 8 crucial runs for his team of 7 deliveries, which took Pacific to 92. 1 more legal delivery left. The good news is Zishan Abid is on strike, looking for that odd boundary. Can they finish with a maximum or a boundary?
They've got a decent total on the board right now. I think 92 is something they can fight with. It gives the bowlers a chance. And we're going to see some very interesting bowling when Pacific Group comes in.
Mixing up his deliveries. A slower one. Bounce completely beaten. Zishan Abid. He should have gone for that run out. There was a fielder backing up. But still, Pacific Group managed 93 in their allotted 10 overs. A slower bouncer. Well bowled. Hafiz Almas, brilliant with the ball tonight once again for his team. Last couple of overs has been good for both the teams, I would say. Do or die situation. They managed 93. Now the chase is on for 7 districts.
I think it's a decent total and something that they can fight with the Pacific Group. They've got a decent bowling lineup, especially if they use Mujahid Amin in the right place. I think it's going to be a very interesting chase.
Definitely, and talking about the batting, Fayaz walked back after a golden duck. It was Jiju Janardhan scoring bulk of the run in the top. 26 of 12 deliveries. Abhay managed 27, a crucial 27 of 23 deliveries, which helped the team to reach to some respectable total. 8 by Ansh, and this partnership between Zishan and Mudassir helping the team to reach 93. Mudassir remained not out on 8 and Zishan managed 6. Run a ball 6.
And don't forget those extras, 11 extras. Talking about the bowling card, I think Abdul Ghaffar, brilliant up top. He got those 3 wickets. And Haider Ali, Mohammad Farooq and Mohammad Zamir picking up a wicket each. I think Hafiz Almas was not all that bad. He bowled decent 2 overs as well.
And let's see what happened in the first innings, the highlights. All started with this inside edge dragging onto his stump and trying to heave over mid-wicket. Nicely well judged catch by Almas. Rashid Hafiz walks back. Then the partnership between Jiju and Abhay Jotin. Jiju was brilliant tonight playing those trademark shots. And this time cleaned up by Captain Haider. Then comes in Ansh Tandon, well bowled by Farooq. Abhay Jotin trying really hard and managed a couple of boundaries. Time over the wicket keeper. Then came in Zamir, and what a brilliant catch of Mayank taken by Wahab. Once again playing over the fine leg. Abhay Jotin. This over was brilliant by Ghaffar, getting rid of Abhay Jotin. Unlucky getting that thick outside edge on the blade of Mudassir Ghulam. Final over also. Still, both the batters managed to get some boundaries. And at the end, they managed 93 in their allotted 10 overs, and 7 districts need 94 runs to win this game in 60 legal deliveries. So that's all we have from the com box in the first innings. We'll be back after a short break. Good evening and once again welcome back to 7th Cricket Stadium. It's DCC X10 Division 1 match number 37 being played between 7 districts and Pacific Group. After winning the toss, 7 district has opted to bowl and the bowlers did a pretty good job. Pacific Group just managing 93, some crucial contribution coming from Jiju Janardhanan, 26 of 12 deliveries, and Abhay Jotin 27, and at the end Mudassir managed 8 and Zishan managed 6. And to take you through this second innings, I have with me Mr. Qais Farooq in the comm box, and before that let me talk about the bowling of 7 districts. They used 6 bowlers. Pick off the bowlers clearly, it's Abdul Ghaffar, the left arm talented fast bowler, getting 3 wickets to his name, and Haider Ali, Mohammad Zamir and Mohammad Farooq picked up a wicket each. So welcome to Combox, Qais bhai.
Thank you. Good evening. Yeah, we're in for a very interesting second half as both these teams are looking to notch up the victory. And I felt the Pacific Group batsmen let them down overall. It's still a par score for me. As we have a look at Abdul Shakur's stats, 62 runs in 5 innings at an average of 10 at a strike rate of 131. He's again much better than what those stats suggest. And he's going to have to come to the party today for 7 districts if they're going to need to make a game of it.
And those dot balls definitely will hurt Pacific Group. They managed 93. If they could have converted half of those dot ball played by the batters, they could have easily crossed that 105 mark.
Yeah, I think they got around 46 in the last 5 overs. So it was a fairly flat inning, if you want to call it that. They never accelerated, but if you have a look at their statistical numbers, their run rates actually were declining throughout. They started off at 12, 13 and over, and then it just kept going down. So that's where I feel their batsmen let them down a little bit.
Straight away, played over, mid-off, ball slowing down. So is Mujahid Amin. Couple of runs, started off well, Abdul Shakur. So many matches have been played on both the grounds. Still the bowler doesn't know where to bowl.
Well, then that's the bit that surprised me more on the bowlers than anyone else. That the bowlers have still, or majority of them have still not recognized how to bowl on these wickets. They're still trying to bang it in short, trying to bowl those pacey deliveries. When we've seen throughout the last 3 to 4 weeks that does not work generally.
The change in the field. Third man goes back, and they have a deep square leg, 2 fielders patrolling the boundary. Shorter delivery, played on the back foot, ball racing towards the deep mid wicket. Brilliant batting by Abdul Shakur.
And again, you see from Irfan, yes, he's a pacey customer, but you're bowling pace deliveries, and it's exactly what someone like Shakur likes. He wants space on the ball. He wants you to bowl fast at him. So you're playing right into his territory, and he is going to make you punish more often than not. He's going to punish you more often than not.
He's a young fast bowler, Irfan. He needs to be guided by the senior players of this team. Wild swing, taking thick outside edge, and ball racing towards the third man for yet another boundary. Trouble continues for Pacific Group. They have leaked the runs in the power play, the fast bowlers.
Well, that was again a wayward outswinger. All Abdul Shakur had to do was get a little bit of bat onto that, and he's managed to get 4 more. It's an ideal start for 7 districts in pursuit of that 90-odd target. And Abdul Shakur is due for some runs for the team. He's had a very poor tournament by his standards, so it's a good start for him. He's going to be fairly confident.
Third man has been busy throughout the day. Nicely played, but straight towards the extra cover. Ansh Tandon this time. A rare dot delivery in this over.
And again, you've seen 4 deliveries bowled in the first over. All of them have been pace deliveries. So we still haven't seen any variation from Irfan. Uh, again, someone like the captain or some of the other medium pacers should probably go and talk with him that you need a little bit of variety in this format. And he's managed to get the wicket of Abdul Shakur against the run of play. A nothing shot, a wide outside off stump delivery, and Abdul Shakur has just played catching practice.
Fuller delivery and well taken at the point by Jiju Janardhanan. This has been the problem of Abdul Shakur, scoring runs but walking back. The very first over, 10 for 1, 7 districts. Farooq Momin comes in, promoted tonight. Lucky breakthrough. The ball was there to hit, but he found Jiju Janardhanan. Mohammad Farooq, 5 innings, 56. Strike rate matters, 175, 27 of best to his name. A brilliant all-rounder. Now again they need to build a partnership. Shahzad Ali at the other end, yet to face a delivery. It has been the same story in the first innings. They have managed 13. They lost 2 wickets Pacific Group in the first over. Now here, one more delivery left. They managed 10, losing Abdul Shakur.
Well, he's had a good couple of games, Farooq, with the bat, so perhaps they've sent him just to stabilize it a little bit. And he's again proven everyone wrong by just having a wild swing at that delivery as the first over comes to a close. 7 districts, 10 for 1.
Oh, middle? Oh, sorry, that's leg.
So 10 for 1 for 7 districts. They have lost Abdul Shakur. Shahzad Ali has been promoted. So Mohammad Farooq, and comes in Akif, Mohammad Akif. Shahzad Ali managed 64 runs in 6 innings so far.
Well, as we have a look at Akif Raja's stats, 7 wickets in the 4 innings. Economy is a touch high. He's going to want to again better that. He's a very good bowler. Played international cricket for the UAE. He's bowled a very, very nice outswinger that's been guided towards third man by Shahzad Ali to get off the mark.
They need to make sure that run rates remain at around 9 or 9.5 per over. If it goes beyond 10, the problem will be bigger for 7 districts. Farooq, a busy cricketer, always taking those singles and doubles and getting those odd boundaries at right time.
Well, I hope he listens to you, because the first ball he played, he actually tried to whack it out of the ground. And I was actually expecting him to play a little bit of second fiddle game to just get those singles like he's done just now and just keep rotating strike for someone like Shehzad Ali to maybe go after the bowling at the start.
Power play, they want to take the advantage of power play, 7 districts. But we have seen what Almas can do coming down the order. And it's all important where they will use the tall left-hander all-rounder Abdul Ghaffar. He was brilliant. I have seen him in other tournaments. He was excellent. And you never know, tonight might be his night, bowling brilliantly. Nicely played. Shorter delivery coming into Shehzad Ali. Just glided towards that fine leg region. First boundary from the blade of Shehzad.
Well, that had a little bit of West Indian touch to it with that high front leg and the swivel. So very well executed shot. He always had that intention of keeping it, as low as possible, not trying to hit it over the top for a 6.
We have been discussing from the day one, but I think these guys are not listening to us. Don't bowl short bouncers. Just pitch the delivery on the right area and it will move the new ball.
So again, well bowled by Akif Raja. Good follow up. He's getting that ball to swing out, getting the outswing going slightly, and that's a very good length ball.
I think as a fast bowler, you have that aggression to bowl those quicker ones, the short balls, especially with the new ball. But this surface is completely different to other surfaces in this region.
Again, a fuller delivery that's just been hit in between that mid-off fielder and cover fielder for another boundary. Akif continues to be slightly expensive for Pacific Group. This is not what they want from their premier fast bowler. And he's under the pump again.
All different 4 deliveries. We have 5 deliveries, in fact, we have seen in this over. When you have troubled the batsman with that good length delivery, moving away from him, why to go fuller?
And that's a short length delivery. It's gone up in the air. And an easy catch taken by Ansh Tandon at cover. So again, against the run of play, Akif's conceded 10 runs, but he's managed to bag Shehzad Ali's wicket. And 7 districts have lost their second wicket for 20 at the end of 2 overs.
This time, once again, banged in by Akif Raja, but this time it was a bit on the off stump, trying to heaved over mid-wicket, getting the top edge, and well-judged catch taken by youngster Ansh Tandon. Walks back, Shehzad Ali, both the openers back in the hut. Shehzad Ali, 9 runs of 5 deliveries, 20 for 2.
है भी ख्याल में सही था स्पीड हुआ बहुत
Helmet goes off. That means spinner will come into play. It's Mujahid Amin, left arm, orthodox. What a season he's having. He needs to get a couple of wickets.
4 wickets in his 5 innings as Farooq plays that first full toss down towards long off. So this is going to be the contest of the match for us. Mujahid Amin against Hafiz Almas. He's the man for 7 districts. He's batted exceptionally well in the last couple of games. He played an incredible inning last time out, and he's going to be the man tasked with getting the bulk of the runs for the team, knowing that they've got a little bit of a brittle or a inconsistent batting lineup. So a lot will depend on these two, and again my favorite Abdul Ghaffar, who still hasn't fired in the tournament for us.
Nicely bowled this time. Slow in the air, push towards extra cover. Fayaz comes into play. And definitely he'll be eyeing that mid-wicket. And talking about Hafiz Almas, 204 strike rate, 54 best. Match-winning knock against Kolata. There's a direct hit. I think it's a goner. Fayaz Ahmed comes into play.
Well, Mujahid Amin has raised his finger. He feels it's out. The fielding side looks very confident as we have a look at the replay. I feel he might be struggling. And he's gone, and that is a big wicket for Pacific Group. Hafiz Almas, what have you done?
A big man putting an extra effort in the field. Fayaz Ahmed, brilliant throw, walks back Hafiz Almas. Lucky breakthrough. Big man, Hafiz Almas, one of the better batters in this lineup, walks back to dugout and is 21 for 3. Trouble continues for 7 districts. Walks in Abdul Ghaffar. Can you please introduce Mr. Qais?
Well, let's have a look at that cut shot from Farooq towards point, and they run through for a single. So that's added on pressure now for 7 districts. They've not been very very balanced as a batting unit. But again, Abdul Ghaffar is at the crease. He's only had 45 runs in 5 games so far. The average is nothing to talk about. His strike rate should be a lot higher, in my opinion. And if he needs to come to the party and prove me right, then this is the game to do it.
And we'll discuss about Abdul Ghaffar. And on the very first ball, goes towards long on. Massive, humongous 6. Welcome, Abdul Ghaffar.
Well, I feel this man has so much talent. I just feel he's not being utilized properly by the team itself. There are some players who like the Shoaib Akhtars, for example, or take another example. There are some people who are superstars, and you need to manage them and treat them a little bit differently. That's what I think this lad is.
Are you people hearing out? If you ask Mr. Qais Farooq about Abdul Ghaffar, he will talk about him whole night. It's a new love story, I would say.
Well, I just like the way he plays, and not to take any credit from whose name I'm about to take next, but he reminds me a lot of an ex all-rounder of UAE, Javed Ismail. very similar. I'm not going to compare him to Javed Ismail because Javed Ismail was something else. Javed Ismail was probably the best fast bowling all-rounder ever to grace the UAE cricket team. But I feel this guy has the potential to, come up to certain levels in terms of being a proper fast bowling all-rounder. And there are some people, like I said, who you need to manage and treat a little bit differently to get the best out of them.
Definitely a brilliant all-rounder, as we have seen earlier in the first innings with the ball, and now doing with the bat, and this time coming into Ghaffar is slower in the air. 8 runs and a wicket to his name, Mujahid Amin. 3 gone, 28 for 3. So far, the 7 districts scorecard all started off well. When Abdul Shakur was batting, he managed 10. Then Shehzad walks back, making 9. Almas was run out without opening the account. Now it's up to Farooq and Ghaffar. They need a partnership and they need to make sure runs flows in quick time for 7 districts.
New bowler introduced into the attack by Pacific Group, Mudassir Ghulam. He got some very vital runs for his team towards the end of the innings as we have a look at his bowling stats. 6 wickets in 5 innings. The economy is a touch higher.
Khazbe, I have seen him bowling earlier also. A brilliant bowler, especially with those slow ones, but struggling. Would love to see him pick a couple of wickets. This time coming into right-hand batter, started off well. See, this has been the problem. You bowl one very good delivery. Why do you want to change the field?
Well, that was first off, that was too close to cut for Farooq. So it was too close to his body, which is why he didn't get, and he luckily didn't get any connection on it. And yes, you're right about that whole field placing aspect. Again, Mudassir he seems to be a little bit inconsistent in his lengths. He bowls that slower one well, but his lengths are not very consistent from what I've seen in this event. Oh, that fell short.
For this delivery, he asked the captain to get that long off into the mid-off position. Once again, a slower delivery, banged in high in the air, but just falling short of Irfan. A brilliant bowler. So far, a quiet season for Mudassir Ghulam, but he has that ability and talent, and we have witnessed that getting Usman Khan couple of times in this tournament.
Well, he's a good unit. He looks like a decent bowler, but I'm a little surprised with Farooq's tactics at this point in time because he seems to again be in a rush. The required run rate is only what a shot that is from Abdul Ghaffar. He's deposited that over the square leg boundary for another maximum.
This has been the problem of Mudassir Ghulam, but full marks to Abdul Ghaffar, dealing in maximums. Flick of the wrist towards the deep square leg. And those maximums are humongous. Tall man scoring runs for his team. 12 of just 3 deliveries.
Well, the 7 districts camp seems a little bit happy. But they've got a big road, a big long road ahead of them, and again the required run rate is currently 9 and over, which is something I wouldn't think is not gettable. It's very, very manageable in a T10 environment as Mudassir comes back with a very nice delivery. But it's going to be up to Abdul Ghaffar and Farooq to play smart cricket. So you've already got a 6 in the over. There are 3 balls remaining. There's no need to again go over aggressive. Try and get 4 more runs in the remaining 3 balls and try and take the game forward because you lose a couple more wickets over here, and your chase could go down the drain.
Rightly said, you have managed that maximum. If you can hit a couple of maximum, then get out, it's of no use. Now you need to capitalize on this. Ghulam comes in once again, a slower delivery, push towards extra cover.
Well, that's again, that's a very smart move from Abdul Ghaffar. See, he's hit that six and he's taken a single, and you can see a hint of frustration in Mudassir Ghulam's eyes, because he's got one off, he's gotten off on strike, he's gotten off strike. They've taken 8 runs off the over already. So all you need to do is get that 9 and over, and you've got one full floating power play remaining. So it's just a matter of playing smart cricket without going over aggressive, if you want to chase the target down.
And moreover, the Pacific groups are short of one bowler. Adil Malik is not playing. So far, we have seen 4 bowlers. Well bowled once again. Banged in, but a slower delivery is working for Mudassir Ghulam. Good comeback after going for that maximum, trying to make room for himself. Unable to connect, straight into the hands of wicketkeeper Zishan Abid. With that, over number 4 comes to an end. 36 for 3.
As we have a look at the Pacific Group bowling card, Irfan Allah 10 runs for a wicket in his 1 over. Akif Raja 1 for 10 in his 1 over. Mujahid Amin no wicket for 8 in his 1 over. And Mudassir Ghulam no wicket for 8 of his 1 over. And a new bowler has been introduced into the attack, Jiju, as Muhammad Rashid joins me in the comm box for the remainder of 7 Districts batting innings.
Thank you, Kesali. Jiju comes in, and a very interesting phase in this game. Abdul Ghaffar on strike. He's been hitting them really well, and he goes for another one. Is it all the way? Yes, it is. Another 6. What a good shot that was. He's playing a blinder here, Qais.
Well, I don't need to talk about him any more than I already have throughout the tournament. He's due for something. He's due for some runs, and he's got 18 or 19 of them now. And again, I go back to the point about playing a little bit of smart cricket. If I were him, I would probably get off strike now and tell Farooq, you know what, let's get another 4 runs in the remaining 4 balls, rather than trying and bashing one more out.
Yeah, as we see, Jiju pulling his length back and slowing down his pace. But that was well left by Abdul Ghaffar. I think he's got his eye in right now.
And I feel today he's managing to keep his emotions under a little bit of control as well. That desire to hit every ball out of the park is not there, which is great. It's very good development for him and for the 7 District side. He just needs to make sure he just bats sensibly.
And again, similar kind of delivery, but he wanted to get his bat onto it. But having said that, Qais, I think another good thing he's done is that he's made sure that whenever he gets a ball in his zone, he hasn't let it pass by.
Yeah, I mean, he's an aggressive batsman. We know that, but he needs to, again, not to compare people, but you look at how Ronak Panoli has transitioned. It's something like that you need to transition in from someone like Abdul Ghaffar. As again, he's continuing to try and bash that out of the park. Instead of getting 3 singles, they've got no runs.
Oh, they've picked up a single here. Are they going for another one? Oh, yes, they are. What is the umpire called?
Well,
Bit of confusion here.
We have no idea what's happened. Looks like they've run through for a couple of buys, but they're going to consult. So again, while they do that, the point is that at the start of the over, the required rate was around 9 or 8.9. As we have a look at that replay, let's have a look at the replay anyways.
Yeah, that ball is dead there. I think they wasted some energy running those 2. Probably warmed themselves up. Yeah, back to your point, Qais.
Yeah, so the required rate was around 8.9 or 9 odd. In 3 balls, they've managed to push it up to 9.75 without, and just taking a single or a double could have easily just, kept it where it was.
Now we see Jiju, just bowling those slower ones outside the off stump, and that was a little wider, and the umpire calling it wide. So you say that it is better for him to just nudge it down and get off strike, but the demand of the game is that you play an aggressor's role.
If you've already got a 6 of the first delivery, for argument's sake, then you want to maximize the. It's not like you're chasing 15 and over. You see, you're chasing 9 and over, and you've just had 4 dot deliveries on the trot. So, yes, he's an aggressive batsman. I get it, but like I said, the smartness of it is where you can actually control the aggression and think about have match awareness.
Correct. Well said. But these 4 dot deliveries, they're going to play a big role in his mind, and I don't know, it might frustrate. It definitely has frustrated him. He might go for the big short heave over mid wicket, I guess. Oh no! Again, a similar kind of delivery. Very well done, Jiju. A great over.
Well, what a brilliant over from Jiju. What a brilliant comeback as the 5th over comes to a close and 7 districts remain at 43.
We don't see Mujahid Amin coming back, Qais. Was that surprising for you?
Well, I feel it's a strategic move that he's made, knowing that Abdul Ghaffar is there and he will likely target Mujahid Amin. So he's probably opted to stay out, as Mudassir Ghulam has bowled a quick delivery that's ricocheted off Farooq's pads and disturbed the furniture. That's a big wicket for Pacific Group.
That was really well bowled by Mudassir. He saw the batsman taking a step towards the leg stump and followed him, and that ricocheted and bumped into the middle stump.
Well, it suddenly feels like what, 5.5 ounce, is it? A 5.5 ounce cricket ball has been replaced with a golf ball. They can't seem to get bat on ball for some reason. So, but again, a very big wicket in the context of the game, and now it puts extra added pressure on Abdul Ghaffar to play a mature and an inning that requires him to understand what's happening in the game and take the team through.
Absolutely, and that will do wonders to his confidence because he needs to make sure that he finishes the game for his team. We see the 7 district dugout looking at the screens, very interested in what's happening.
Well, I still don't see concern there, so they seem fairly confident. But again, the required run rate has jumped from under 9 to approximately 11 in a matter of 6 balls. And that's also partially the impact of all those dot balls.
Absolutely. But the batting team is always in the game.
Well, Farman Ali plays that towards the wide, long on region. They're going to run through for a double as Akif Raja cleans up. And the batting team is always in the game as long as Abdul Ghaffar is on the crease for 7 districts.
I think Farman played a very good shot there. He did the right thing. They need to make sure that they don't get any more dots here. If they're not getting that boundary, it's very important that they make sure that they're either rotating the strike or making sure they get a couple of runs every ball. As we look at that delivery again by Mudassir Ali, that was well directed, and Farooq missing it completely.
Well, it's like we were talking about earlier. Well, that's a brilliant shot played by Farman Ali. 1 bounce over the rope for a boundary. This is good cricket from him. He's not trying to overpower the shots. He's just trying to play the ball to its merit, and he's getting full value for the shots that he's playing. And again, what we're talking about is it's 80% mental and 20% technical. So the team and the player that is mentally stronger will most likely come out on top. And that's where perhaps, Farman Ali, who looks a little bit more composed, can talk to Abdul Ghaffar and just try and, navigate him through this last half. Because we know Abdul Ghaffar can hit the shots, but can he actually take the single after getting the boundary? That's what's going to be important.
Well, very well pointed out. That single after that boundary or that six, that's the most important shot. As Mudassir Ali walks in again. That's very well bowled. That's very well. That was close. That was very close. But the inside edge saved him.
Well, lucky Farman Ali. Very lucky. He got that slight inside edge. Very well bowled. It looked straight. And Mudassir was pleading to the umpire to give that out, but a good decision by GV Alex. He's had a brilliant tournament.
The umpiring overall throughout, Division 1 and Division 2 has been simply superb. They've done a wonderful job, these umpires. What is Abdul Ghaffar going to do on this delivery?
Well, I would try and just get. And again, he's lucky there. He's missed out. Potentially another dot ball has been converted into a bye. And I would, you've got 6, 7 odd runs. I would have just taken maybe a couple of singles. You have that. You have that floating power play remaining, and that's the over that I would potentially target if I were Abdul Ghaffar. But for now, it's a matter of getting those 8, 9s and 10s just to make sure that net run rate or required run rate does not go beyond like a 12 or a 14.
Absolutely. And another thing that we need to make sure they need to remember, 7 District, is that Mujahid Amin hasn't bowled his second over. As long as Abdul Ghaffar is on the wicket, he's not coming on. So that will that will be putting added pressure on the Pacific boys.
And they've only used the majority of their overs have all been done by the pacers. So they've only got Mujahid Amin who's bowled those left arm spin deliveries. So and pace on is not going to be difficult to get away as that ball goes down the leg side and they've run through for another leg by.
Very lucky Mudassir there. At the end of 6 overs, 7 District is on 52 for the loss of 4 wickets, requiring 42 of the last 24 balls.
Power play now, power play, power play.
ओ डबल ब्रेक हो गया बाजी के मेरे को भी नंग गया इधर नु बाजी का राइट है थोड़ा पूरा साफ करना पड़ेगा मुंह बाजी के ये पावर प्ले लिया उन्होंने शाबाश मिडल
Well, Jiju Janardhan has been introduced back in for his final over as 7 districts require 42 runs off the last 24 deliveries.
He had a very good first over, although he was hit for a 6 on the first ball, but he came back brilliantly, just bowling that one wide in the middle, and the rest of them were all dots.
Well, as we have a look at the field, we've got a standard field set for Jiju, and yeah, he did come back really well, and he's got that very nice slower ball, which is what he used to good effect against the likes of Abdul Ghaffar, who was hell-bent on trying to just, you know, knock the ball in out of Dubai into Sharjah.
So they've taken the power play, hence that field setting, and Jiju comes in. Farman. Oh, that's bowled him. What a good delivery that was. Back of the hand, slower one, and he's got his man. Well done, Jiju.
Well, a brilliant delivery first up from Jiju. He's bowled that back of hand slower delivery. It has not bounced at all. And Farman Ali could have swung around twice and then hit the ball because it never arrived. And they've got a very important wicket.
I would say the match is still on as long as Abdul Ghaffar is in the middle.
Well, some discussion going on between Mujahid Amin and the match referee, Mr. Shiju. Some administrative delay.
Talking about the game, I think Abdul Ghaffar is the man. 7 District would want to be in the middle.
We need to be a little bit careful here, Rashid. We don't want to curse him with the commentator's curse.
But he's done a wonderful job so far for his team, and he's doing well so far, I think.
Well, the true test of his mental ability as a cricketer is going to come to the fore now, because he's potentially got not many recognized batsmen to play with, and he's going to have to get the bulk of those 40-odd runs.
Yeah, it's a very interesting 3 overs, I think. What a good first delivery that was by Jiju. Back of the hand, slower one, and he got his man there. In walks Heather Ali. A very interesting phase. I think Heather Ali needs to understand what the situation of the game is. They've taken up the power play, but unfortunately lost that wicket on the first ball. The field set shows kind of shows that Jiju is going to bowl slower deliveries, Qais.
Well, it looks like that's going to be the order of the day for him anyways, and it's good to see that he's taking a little bit of time to talk to his captain and making sure that he gets the field placing just right. It's just now a matter of executing his deliveries to that fielding plan. And for Heather Ali, he's the captain and he's at the ground, at the crease now with the man who can potentially win them the game. So it's going to be important to see how he talks to the batsman and takes him through this important phase.
Absolutely, and these are going to be 4 very important balls for both the sides. If Abdul Ghaffar can manage to get a couple of boundaries, or at the same time not lose his wicket, that'll be added pressure on Pacific. But at the same time, if the Pacific boys can pick up this man's wicket, I guess it'll then be very difficult for 7 District to make a comeback.
Well, I tell you what, you would want, if you were Abdul Ghaffar, you'd want the spirit of Khurram Khan to take control of your body for the remainder of the 4 overs, because there was no one better at taking the game to that last over and finishing it off in UAE.
But with that, he's not listened to you. He's got the soul of Khurram Khan, but the power of Carlos Brathwaite. He's heaved that over square leg for a big 6.
Well, he's playing absolutely brilliantly, and he's scored all his runs through sixes. That tells you the ability of the man. It's just a matter of making sure that he finishes the game, which is where I talk about Khurram's spirit taking over his body. So, you know, the ability to recognize that I can take the game to the last over and then finish it myself.
Absolutely. Khurram Khan, a legend in his own. What a player he was.
He still is, from what I know. He still plays bits and pieces, but yeah, he's amazing, great cricketer.
And again, a slower one outside the off stump. He wants to take a single. Where are you going, young man? Stay in the crease. You've still got 20 odd balls to chase that 35 runs. There's still a lot of time. You've got time on your hand. Don't rush it. And I think Haider should go down to the end and talk to his man. He's got his bound. He's 6. He should not lose his wicket at this time.
Well, get a single, take a single and get off strike, and let the captain get a couple of runs, and just at least get the scoreboard moving, because you get 6 and 5 dot balls, you've done nothing in the over.
And again, similar kind of result. Jiju's doing the same thing. He's just banging it short, slower ones. Abdul Ghaffar is very frustrated. I think there was some kind of miscommunication with his captain. Haider really needs to go down and talk to Abdul Ghaffar.
Well, again, it's the mental part of the game that's going to make it or break it for 7 districts. And we've seen the same situation happen as in Jiju's previous over, a 6 hit and then practically nothing in the rest of the over.
He started to heave that again, and it's landed in no man's land. Short of the fielder there. But that makes sure that Abdul Ghaffar is still in the middle. He's made sure that he stays for the last 3 overs. With a score at 60 in 7 overs, 7 district required 34 runs.
Look at the 7 districts batting card. Abdul Shakur started off well, lost his wicket fairly early, and nothing much to talk about besides Abdul Ghaffar, who's currently at this crease looking very dangerous. And he's the man that needs to be there when the 10th over, the final delivery of the 10th over, if it goes down to that, is bowled, if 7 districts are to get through.
Pacific Group, on the other hand, very conservative with their figures, and especially their extras. They've only given away 3 extras. Akif Raja comes in to bowl his second over, and he's bowled it. And that's going for a 6. What a shot that was! Unbelievable. I didn't even pick that.
Well, that's the power this guy possesses, and he's known for hitting flat 6s. They're not 6s that'll have a lot of airtime. They're hit with a lot of power, and they go off his bat like tracer bullets. And he's scored 32 runs, and 30 of those are 6s, by the way. So he's hit 5 6s in his innings already. And again, we've got a 6 on the first ball of the over. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he negotiates the remaining 5 balls.
I think Jiju's got the slow ones. He's got more control of the slow ones. Akif, whereas relies more on his pace and his swing. So it'll be very interesting to see what Abdul Ghaffar does. Will he take him on in the next delivery as well, or play like Khurram Khan and take the game deep?
I'd want to get 11 off the over now. So 5 singles is okay. Well, that's very well done. So he's played that down towards long on, and he's run through for a single. So that gets them 7 of 2. Now it's just a matter of getting 3 or 4 more singles, and you've got 10.
Absolutely, but I see there is a bit of miscommunication between the two. They've not been running quite well, and which has frustrated Abdul Ghaffar in the last over we saw. So I just hope that they don't get a run out at this stage.
Well, if you're Pacific Group, you'd be hoping for more of that miscommunication. If you're 7 districts, you want to iron out that miscommunication between the two batsmen as soon as possible, and again perhaps having a chat in the middle. I know in T10 you don't get the luxury of time to have those mid-pitch discussions, but you can always have a quick chat with your partner just to make sure that you're both on the same page.
Heather's just faced one delivery. I think they changed their plan again. That fielder up there would have put pressure on him, and don't let him take a single. And again, as we see, he's run there and he's run him up. And as we were saying, I feel there's a run out.
Well, again, I don't have any word other than ridiculous to describe what has just happened.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The look on Qais Farooq's face was just unbelievable. He was just, I can't say that word.
I mean, you have 15 balls or 16 balls to get those 24 runs. Why sacrifice yourself for just to get on strike after you've hit a 6 and taken a single? So that's, again, the mental side of the game is what he needs to work on, and that's what his downfall is. Brilliantly done by the keeper, by the way. He recognized that brilliantly. He was quick on his feet, and he's sent Abdul Ghaffar back, and perhaps the game along with it for 7 districts.
Absolutely. I think that was very uncalled for, and we could tell from the last over itself there was some kind of miscommunication between the two, and there was frustration clearly visible on Abdul Ghafar's face. So I think they've just lost it there. But still, we've got quite a bit of a game left on our hands, Qais. As I say, the batting team is always in the game. Even if you require 30 runs in the last over, we've seen weirder things happen in cricket.
Yeah, the required rate is still below that 12 mark, which personally for me is like the cap. The moment it starts going beyond 12, you're in a little bit of trouble. As we look at Mohammad Zamir's stats, 17 runs in 3 innings. Nothing to talk about in terms of average. The strike rate needs to be higher. But they've got a big job. The problem is not that they have batsmen. The problem is they will not have the luxury of time, and they will be in a rush to get that 27 required of the last 15 deliveries.
So you see, if they've got 15 deliveries and they've got 27 runs to chase, it doesn't mean that you have to go all out on every delivery. These kind of good shots you can pick up. They should make sure that they take up couples, and unfortunately they didn't. This has been the problem. They haven't converted those singles into doubles, and they put pressure on themselves. This game doesn't require a lot of boundaries. It just needs to make sure that you've got a level head, and you read the game well, read the ball well, and make sure that you pounce on the bad deliveries, and you make sure that the good deliveries are converted into singles and doubles.
Well, it's the captain's game now. He's in the middle. He needs to get those. He needs to make sure his team gets those 25 odd runs. As Heather Ali is just trying to launch that towards the long on area. He's completely missed the ball. And Akif's given him a little bit of a stare.
A fast bowler stare, even though he hasn't hit him yet. But that was uncalled for. Again, as we were talking, this could have been just guided towards between the point and the third man region. And if he would have timed it well, they could have picked up a couple or even a boundary to get, just make sure that you get runs of every delivery and make sure you go deep.
Well, the only thing I can say is that apparently the 7 districts batting unit have a self-destruct button somewhere in the dugout, which they like to press at very weird moments in the game. And they just manage to self-destruct themselves without anyone doing anything to them. As that single brings the 8th over to a close, and 7 districts are 69 for 6, requiring 25 runs of the last 2 overs.
Look at the bowling card for Pacific Group. A wicket each for Irfanullah, Akif Raja, Mudassir Ghulam and Jiju Janardhan. Jiju was very good with his 2 overs, just giving away 14 runs. After 8 overs, it's just anybody's game, even Stevens at this moment. For me, the tilt is slightly towards the batting side. We've got 24 runs to chase in the 12 legal deliveries we've got.
Well, Irfan has been brought in to bowl the penultimate over of the inning, and unless something out of the ordinary happens, that leaves Mujahid Amin with the 10th over.
That would be a very interesting last over.
That's-
And with 2 lefties in the middle.
That's a very brave decision from the captain. He's been captaining the side fairly well, with the results not showing that, but it's a very brave decision.
Absolutely. And it's going to really test them. It's going to test both the sides. This is a very interesting phase. A very close game on our hands. I think it's going to be a thriller. Last ball thriller, Qais.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, since you're a spinner and a spinner is going to potentially bowl the last over. If you are Mujahid Amin, how many runs would you like Irfan to leave for you to defend in the last over?
All 25 of them.
Well, my co-commentator says you'd need 32 runs to defend, but which probably means that you're not ideal for the last over, as Heather Ali has taken a single of that first legal delivery of the 9th over.
Guys, we've played quite a bit of cricket together, and you know that the shorter format has never never worked for me. I always want those 50 overs and 2-day games.
No, I think honestly speaking, I think it was just an off day for you, because you had a really good tournament, and for personally I felt Rasasi were the favourites for the Division 2 event. But again, cricket's a funny game.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
As long as we had good games, we enjoyed it. We had some good talent on display. That was the most important thing. Oh, coming back to this game, and that's gone to a boundary off the inside edge. That was not a very bad delivery, but a welcome boundary for the 7 districts.
Well, it seems all the runs come from edges during the last 2 overs. We saw that in the first inning as well. Mudassir Ghulam got a few off inside and outside edges, and now Heather Ali is getting it, but or Zamir has gotten one. They wouldn't mind where the runs come from. The objective is to get the 19 runs of the remaining 10 balls.
Absolutely. Now that they've got that all-important boundary, they need to make sure that they go big in this over and get at least 9 more runs of the 4 legal deliveries that are left.
Yeah, I think with 10 of the last over, 7 districts would be the favourites, as Zamir has bunted that down towards mid-off and run through for a single.
Mujahid fields there, and there will be a lot of things going through his mind. What kind of field he sets, what kind of deliveries he wants to bowl in that last over, if he's going to bowl that last over, I think.
Yeah, win or lose for either side, I still feel that if 7 districts are to have any opportunity to win the remaining 3 or 4 games and try and get into that top 6 spot, they need to sort out the mental aspect of how they're chasing targets. And their batsmen need to play and plan a little bit better.
A very good point there for 7 districts. I'm sure they've got their pens and papers out and they're noting this down, guys. And we see a single being taken here again. I still feel this is a last ball thriller, guys, and they require 3 runs of the last ball and just get 2.
Well, 17 of 8. With 6 wickets down, I'd probably say the bowling side, but again, these bats, you have the luxury of some lucky edges here and there, a wide ball, whatever it is. So it's still a 50-50 game. It's not on either sides. It's not balanced on either side. It's just right in the middle right now.
You being a batsman favoring the bowling side, I being a bowler favoring the batting side. That's a good context in itself. And another outside edge. No, it's off the bat. That was a good short delivery, hitting the upper half of the bat, and they scamper around for a single.
Well, Irfan's come back well after that boundary conceded off the first ball. I think they'd probably be happy leaving whoever bowls the last over, assuming it's Mujahid Amin, with perhaps 15, 14. Anything below that, I feel the batting side will be in control with two left-handers, potentially facing a left-arm spinner for the last over.
But I fail to understand, Irfan has been bowling short deliveries throughout his spell, and they haven't read that well. And again, he bowls a short. That would be a wide. That's a wide delivery. I mean, I think it's easy for them to I mean, they should have read that over slightly better than what they have done, because he's been the field set shows that he's going to bowl that shorter delivery, and he's been doing that throughout. So they could have just, I mean, some innovation in the middle should have come into play by the batsman.
And perhaps the one to add to your point, I haven't seen many bowlers trying to bluff the batsman. Have a field set for a short pitch delivery but bowl one up. We haven't seen that at all. And the fast bowlers are just hell bent on trying to bowl fast and bowl those short pitch deliveries. We've seen 2 wides bowled in the penultimate over. And that last ball has now been ticked towards point for a single. So that's going to leave 14 runs of the last over.
That's what you wanted, 14.
I thought with 14 it would still be the bowler's game. I said anything under 14 would probably be a batsman's game. So we're down to the last over of the game, 80 for 6 at the end of 9, and it would be interesting to see who bowls that last over.
I'm still favoring that tie. I'm telling you, 3 runs of the last ball and they're going to get 2.
Well, if 7 districts lose this game, they have no one but themselves to blame. The run-outs of Hafiz Almas, I believe, also got run out. He's a key member of that batting line. And then the self-destruct button pressed by Abdul Ghaffar at that very critical point in the game is what's going to end up losing them the game if they manage to lose this. If they win it, good for them. But they still have some chinks in their armor that they need to work out, especially from a batting perspective. They're a very good bowling unit. They field very well, but their batting just does not seem to be settled at all. And that's where, teams like 11 Ace and Future Mattress and IGM are much better placed than them in this tournament.
Absolutely. Another thing that these teams need to understand is you cannot shuffle around your batting order every day. You need to have a set batting order, and then you need to back that batting order. And as we look there, as expected, Mujahid coming in to bowl the last over, a bit of pressure on him. Fayaz, a senior member of the team, coming in, talking to his captain and calming him down, I think. But Mujahid is a seasoned player. He knows how to bowl these overs.
Well, he's been around for a long time. I remember playing against him when I was in my early 20s, and I've been retired for a good part of about 7 years, and he's still playing. So all kudos to players like him and Nasir Aziz and some of these other Asif Mumtaz who are still there and who are still performing.
He's bowled that brilliantly. What a good delivery that was. Trying to heave that, and he's bowled it outside off stump, although it's a wide. But he's got that wicket of Haider Ali.
Well, that's experience for you again, isn't it? He's recognized what the batsman was trying to do. He saw the batsman come out early. He's bowled it wide purposely. He didn't mind conceding that 1 run, but he's managed to get a wicket, a very important wicket for his team.
Absolutely. Now it brings it down to 13. Lower than what you were saying. But at the same time, picking up a wicket is very important because a set batsman goes out and a new batsman comes in, and probably he's not a left-hander batsman. Mujahid Amin doing the right thing. But we must talk about the wicket-keeper here. They had a plan set because as soon as he bowled that delivery, he was deliberately outside the off stump to make sure that he didn't miss that ball. That was very good thinking. I think that was a planned delivery.
Well, he's had a good start to his over, an ideal start for him. 13 still gettable. You only need one good hit to get back into the game.
But that wicket would definitely get his tail up, Mujahid Amin. He's been just superb. Don't look at his white hair. He's still young. Although he's played with Qais, but he's still young.
Well, I'm young as well. As we have a look at Wahab Hassan, another left-hander has been sent in, but one run of his 2 innings, an average of 1, a strike rate of 100, nothing to talk about. It wouldn't matter in the context of the game right now anyways. 13 required of 6 balls.
Oh, he's tried to heave that, but no timing on the ball. They tried to take a double, and they've run well there. Well done. They took a double there, took up the bowler's arm, the fielder's arm, beg your pardon, and they picked up crucial 2 runs.
Well, good backing up from Mohammad Zamir. He was always planning to take 2. He was helped perhaps by that wild throw from the fielder at long on.
That's a wide delivery. Very well called by umpire JB Alex. He's bowling a little slower than usual, and we see that the ball not doing much, and slightly lower bounce there as well. Ah, he's bowled him. What a comeback, Mujahid Amin, you beauty. What a delivery that was. Very well bowled. He's come back to bowl his prime delivery, and he's got that wicket.
Well, perhaps he's got this rhythm going, white balls and wickets.
As long as it's working for him, he won't mind.
Yeah, well, he's an experienced customer, so he knows exactly what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. There's there's very little point in us talking about what he should be doing. He knows what needs to be done.
And he's getting the job done for his team. The man, the very unfortunate run out which got this man who could have easily finished the game for 7 District. But chin up, I think they've got quite a few games left, and they can always make a comeback, learn from these games, learn from these mistakes, and make a good comeback.
Well, the only drawback or flip side of the circumstance they're currently in is that they're potentially going to lose their chances of qualification in that top 6, which is what they're playing for anyways, as Shahid Nawaz walks to the crease. 9 runs of 4 innings, average and strike rate, nothing much to talk about.
That's a full toss, and he's heaved it over mid-wicket, and it's gone all the way. What a good shot under pressure. He's got it. He's got it for his team. Can he do it? Can he finish the game? It's just 4 required of last 3 balls.
Well, what a dramatic turn of events. In the space of 1 delivery, the entire match has been turned on its head by Shahid Nawaz. 7 Districts are suddenly starting to believe again. You can see the excitement in the dugout.
And once again, has he hit it? Has he done it? It's a boundary and they've won it. What a good shot that was, Shahid Nawaz, you beauty.
Well, what a fantastic finish to such an exciting game. And Shahid Nawaz has turned the match on its head in a space of 2 deliveries. And 7 Districts, after pressing that self-destruct button in the early stages of their batting, have somehow managed to pull off a very, very exciting and nail-biting win that still potentially keeps their hopes alive in the tournament. And what a strike from Shahid Nawaz. He just came in and he bunted those 2 deliveries for boundaries. Bang, bang. A 6 and a 4 to finish off the game and register that win for 7 Districts. They were very nervous at the start of the over, but they look very excited now as we see handshakes all around. A fantastic game comes to an end. Well, what an exciting end to a wonderful game as we have a look at Seven Districts batting card. Nothing much to talk about apart from Abdul Ghafar's 33 and that 2-ball cameo from Shahid Nawaz, which has taken them across the line in a must-win game. They finish off with 94 for 8 with 2 balls to spare, achieving their target. Look at the Pacific Group bowling card. Irfanullah 1 for 21 off his 2. Akif Raja 1 for 19 off his 2. Mujahid Amin bowled that last over. Fairly good spell, but slightly expensive in the context of the game. 2 for 22. Mudassir Ghulam 1 for 16 and Jiju Janardhan 1 for 14 off his 2. So we have a look at the highlights. And Abdul Shakur started well but lost his wicket early. And then there were a few quick wickets that fell during the course of the innings. Shehzad Ali and Almas, that run out was potentially a game changer. But Abdul Ghaffar, that man, he can hit such huge sixes. He hit a flurry of boundaries, all maximums. 5 sixes in his 33-ball innings. Brought Seven Districts back into the game with some lusty hitting. And then against the run of play, Farooq and Farman Ali lost their wickets. And then a couple of boundaries here and there. Some towering sixes hit by the Seven District side before that self-destruct run out from Abdul Ghaffar. And Mujahid Amin's last over, a couple of wides and he got a couple of wickets before Shahid Nawaz came to the party and finish off the game with 2 boundaries in 2 balls. That 6 followed by a 4. As we have a look at the match summary, Pacific Group 93 for 6 batting first in their 10 overs. Abhay Jotin and Jiju Janardhan with 27 and 26, the key players. Abdul Ghaffar got 3 for 21 off his 2. In reply, Seven Districts chased the target down in 9.4 overs, losing 8 wickets. Abdul Ghaffar again scoring with the bat, 33 of 18. Shahid Nawaz finishing the inning. And Mujahid Amin, the pick of the bowlers, 2 for 22 of his 1.4 overs. Seven Districts win the game by 2 wickets. Let's head down to Mudassir Ali now for the post-match presentation.
Good evening and welcome to the post-match presentation of match number 37 played between Pacific Group and Seven Districts. What a game we have witnessed tonight. They have scored 93, Pacific Group batting first, and when the chase started they were in a bit of bother, but a brilliant knock of 33 of just 18 balls, and in the first innings he delivered with the ball as well. 2 overs, 21 runs and 3 wickets to his name. It's from Seven Districts. Man of the match is Abdul Ghaffar, and to present the award I have with me Mr. Mohammad Rashid, a member of DCC. आखिरकार एक बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस, क्योंकि इसकी उम्मीद भी की जा रही थी, क्योंकि बॉलिंग तो आप अच्छा करते थे लेकिन विकेट्स भी नहीं मिल रहे थे, बैटिंग की उम्मीद थी, बल्लेबाजी भी नहीं हो रही थी, लेकिन 2 एक ही मैच में। सबसे पहले तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस हुई है। इससे पहले ये बताना चाहूँगा कि आफ्टर इंजरी 4-5 मैच लगे हैं थोड़ा सा रिदम आने में, तो इंशाल्लाह आई होप कि नेक्स्ट मैच में और अच्छा परफॉर्म करने की कोशिश। और बात करते हैं बॉलिंग की, काफ़ी बढ़िया स्विंग रहा। T10 में बॉलिंग किस तरीके की होनी चाहिए, कोई मैसेज? T10 में ये है कि आपको बचना ही पड़ता है, कंटेन बॉलिंग करनी पड़ती है। तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कि आज थोड़ा बहुत प्लान किया हुआ था, उसमें काफ़ी हद तक कामयाब हुए सारे बॉलर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। और छक्के काफ़ी बड़े लगाते हैं, लेकिन सिंगल्स क्यों नहीं लेते आप? इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट टाइम वो भी करेंगे इंशाल्लाह। चलिए, ऑल द बेस्ट, और काफ़ी अच्छा खेले आपने। So that was the player of the match, Abdul Ghaffar. Brilliant all-round show. Crucial 2 points for Seven Districts, and there's one more match coming up. Match number 38 between Kolata and Pacific Group. So stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break.